Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for XRP, SPX690 and a BNB price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. We're gonna start with the XRP here on the 4-hour chart where we have an impulse 1, 2, 3 and a wave 4, which is of course obviously a triangle or a very complex structure. We're gonna see the double scenario for it, and we're looking in both case scenarios towards the upside for a wave 5. Now currently after this wave here, wave 3, where we are looking at an expanding flat W, we have a zigzag for an X and a potential triangle A, B, C, D, and we're looking for a wave E as a triangle towards, of course, the upside to be finishing a wave 5 after finishing one more wave E. Currently, on the lower time frame, we are looking here at a potential ABC to be finishing, of course, as this wave D towards higher prices. The wave A is obviously an impulse, and you see, of course, a wave B here, and potentially the wave C is finishing here as an ending diagonal. Therefore, there is of course a possibility here on the micro level, of course, to move a little bit for one more high in case we're still looking for one more leg for this diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, this wave 3, it looks like an impulse already, so I prefer to count this, of course, as one leg toward the upside, which is your wave C. As a zigzag, you have already a zigzag for wave 1, and therefore a one more zigzag toward the upside after finishing this wave 4. The wave 4 should hit around as this fib level, of course, for a diagonal. Let me just put this fib level for a wave 4 in diagonal, where you would like to see perfection, of course, 0.38 and 0.5 fib level, where we are very close, of course, to it. It can be a little bit lower, of course. It's not mandatory to just hit those fib levels. The 0.618 also is a possibility. However, in this area, we might, of course, see another zigzag toward the upside, which it might reach the following target in case we hit this blue zone, of course, for a wave 5 in diagonal. I would say 2.37 or 2.41 can be the finishing of this diagonal with a wave D. And that means in a bigger picture again, you might see another zigzag toward the downside for a wave E, and that means you might finish here this wave Y, this wave 4, and unfolding, of course, this wave 5 as, of course, a bullish scenario that it might finish this impulse finally for once. Now, another alternative scenario is for this wave 4 is that it is finished already. And that means you might here finished an AW, an X, and a wave Y as a zigzag. So I would say kind of like a expanding flat zigzag and another zigzag. And you're looking here also at kind of like a wave 1. However, this wave 1 is also a zigzag toward the upside. It's not an impulse, meaning the potential for higher prices is, of course, as ending diagonal. Meaning right now, if this diagonal will finish as expected in the previous scenario, this might play your wave 1, right? Rather than wave D, right? In the triangle. This might transform to a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, 4, and a 5 to unfold towards higher prices. And as you have realized, because in a triangle, you might have an A, B, C, D, and an E. The wave E might hit around this area before taking, of course, this low because it's going to be invalidation of triangle, right? While this scenario here, you have a 1 and you're looking also for a wave 2, which it might, of course, unfold the 3, 4, and a 5 toward the upside. Meaning, in both case scenarios, there is a confluence right now with this wave 2 or a wave E, which they both is gonna play, of course, a massive move 3 toward the upside. We're gonna see how this is going to unfold, of course, but potentially can be both scenario playing at the same time here at the end, and a wave 5 might unfold toward the upside. The target for this wave 5 might reach the 4.27, and of course, if in case it is extended, as we know, XRP, when it is very bullish, it moves very high. It might reach at least also the $5.32 for XRP. Yep, so this is for XRP price prediction. Let's see the SPX 6900. So on the SPX, on the 2 hours chart, we are looking at a potential here 1, 2 and several 1, 2s. Now this is your wave 3 already finished, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a wave 3. You're looking for a wave 4, definitely a very complex structure and sideways at the same time. Now, in case that we are in something much more deeper, we would like, of course, therefore, to seek after the 1-to-1 fib level, which hopefully it's still above the invalidation. Let's check if we take the 1-to-1 fib level. Yes, so basically the 1-to-1 fib level is still above the invalidation of the bullish scenario, meaning even if you get something a little bit deeper, ABC, and then moving toward the upside, you're still above the 0.65, because this currently is playing right now as 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Preferably that, of course, that you don't take invalidation, otherwise we are bearish definitely, or corrective. In a bigger view, for SPX, we are looking anyway for a very clear impulse toward the upside. It is very clear the price action from the beginning, because you have already a leading diagonal as a wave 1 or a wave A, you have wave 2 or a wave B, and continuation simply as an impulse. And currently you're finishing anyway a wave 5, which it did not took the high yet for SPX, and you're still looking, of course, for higher. This is your wave 1, 2, the wave 3, the wave 4, unfolding of the wave 3, and then 4 and a 5 toward the upside to hit, of course, those target $13.22 potentially for a wave 5 in SPX 6,900. So to be watched, of course, are the to be watch here. Sorry, this has to be removed. To watch is exactly the following price as invalidation. All right, 0.618. And currently, this is, of course, very obviously that it is a very corrective. It might be a triangle, guys, here. It can be, of course, an A, B, C. Well, even this has took the high, meaning A, B, C, D, and an E. Well, I don't see it so much. I see it just 3 ways, guys, in case it has moved toward the downside. Don't forget that this is an impulse, this is a wave 2, this is potentially another impulse 1, so basically the wave 2 still can unfold there, guys. Let's move a little bit in the micro, by the way. So as you can see, you have an impulse. If you have a big A, B, and a C here already finished, well, what is this leg here? All right, it's very, very weird. So I would say this can be like W, X, and therefore a wave Y. Potentially can be. I would say if you want to walk with this one step by step, of course, to watch the bullish scenario when it starts, you can follow, of course, this those fib level, the perfect fib level for wave 2. However, despite that the time is very long for wave 2, but okay, we still have to take it into consideration, right? Because if that this price stop here and then start to move toward the upside, we have no other option, right? It's an 1, A, B, C, or W, X, and Y, and moving toward the upside. Very simple. So to be watched, those level 886, meaning you're gonna take the low here. Taking the low, meaning, of course, it is the 1-to-1 fib level that we just saw on the 2 hours chart, which is 0.776. Great. That is for SPX, I would say. So to be watched those key levels step by step. Basically, I'm very bullish on SPX because also the invalidation is very far. But yeah, we have to be careful. Nobody knows. It might be very intense. But even if it's very intense, I don't see kind of like bearish scenario. Yeah? It's still corrective. This is a good thing. Everything is corrective. I don't see bearish. It means like there is no impulse wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a bearish scenario. But all what we are looking at here is simply corrective. It can be deep, but still very far from invalidation of bullish, and it might unfold something toward the upside. Great. That is for SPX 6,900. Let's move for a BNB here. So BNB also is very interesting chart. As we know, we are very bullish on BNB. It's a very nice bullish chart. We see, of course, a very high curve. It's almost like Bitcoin, I would say. It's not so far from Bitcoin. We are looking at a 1, 2, and potentially the wave 3 unfinished, meaning after this wave 1, 2 here, you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The wave 5 is 1, 2, 3, and currently you're working on the wave 4. as a triangle and then wave 5. So very close a little bit to XRP here with this triangle where you are looking here at A, a B, and a C, D, and a E potentially can be finished. Meaning if this is finished, you are looking right now at a wave 1, and potentially we might see, of course, a little bit lower prices for a wave 2. However, Binance is showing a lot of strength. Even with the corrective wave, is still somehow moving toward the upside. Very impressive for Binance, I would say. What I'm looking at here, even taking the high again, meaning something else is unfolding here. I would like to remove all of this, guys, to see it again before, because the expanding flat was not given. Very impressive. We were looking for A, B, and a C, and it was not given. Now it is still corrective, but still sticking very high. So very impressive. I would say, okay, I would say this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, guys. So the wave 5 even has continued toward the upside to finish a wave 1, meaning now you have started, of course, a wave 2, which is totally opposite of any coin right now for Binance. Very interesting. And it might be, of course, only the 0.38, which it might be hit here for wave 2, very shallow wave 2, and moving toward the upside for Binance. Binance, I would say, looking very bullish, right? We're still looking, of course, for a correction wave 2, but after this, I'm expecting 0.38 at 640 and then moving very bullish toward the upside. Very interesting for Binance. Okay, so that was it for XRP, SPX, and the BNB. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.